What up, YouTube? This is your boy Rain84, and yes, hold your applause. In today's video, I wanted to talk about cell phones versus consoles. Because lately people have been talking about upgrading consoles every 2 years, and people say, well, people upgrade their cell phones every year, so what's the difference? Well, in my opinion, I feel like consoles and cell phones are not the same entity. Cell phones is pretty much a necessity these days because you technically need your cell phone, to communicate with your loved ones and keep in contact with each other. Cell phones is mandatory for most people because people they take their cell phones everywhere they go. So it's like you technically need a cell phone these days. You feel weird without it. Consoles not so much. Most people don't really care about having a console. Cause you got people that work jobs that work several hours a day, and when they're on the buses and trains, they'll pull out their cell phones and play some Candy Crush or whatever the case may be. Candy Crush, some Silent Chess and Blackjack on their cell phones. And that might be the only type of gaming that they might have through the whole day, and as far as consoles being upgraded every 2 years, I think if that was to happen, it'll be I feel like the console market would be oversaturated with consoles, because with cell phones, most people is on a 2-year contract, which means when you buy a new cell phone, basically, you're paying at least the minimum of $200 down to get the new and latest cell phone. But you don't have that with consoles. You can't put a certain amount of money down to get a console. These consoles are at the minimum going to be at least $400 or $500. So most people's not going to shell out that type of money at one time. Especially they're not going to want to do it every 2 years. So like you're not going to shovel money to buy a new console every 2 years, because with consoles requires a lot of marketing. Like, how these companies going to convince the consumer every 2 years to buy a new console when they just put down $500 or $600 on the console 2 years prior. Plus, each console has to have their own identity. The OG Xbox had its own identity. The 360 and the Xbox One, each console have their own identity and the reasons why you will buy each of these consoles. Each console gonna have something special about it to make you buy it. And I think if consoles was to do a 2-year cycle, the market would be oversaturated with consoles on the market. It'll be so many different consoles to buy when you walk into the store. Like, what you going to get? But with cell phones, if a cell phone is like 2 or 3 years old, when a new cell phone comes out, at the most part, I'm going to still be able to enjoy my phone with the latest update. Because when it comes to like Apple and Samsung, what have you, anytime a new phone comes out, they always update the OS. And if I have an iPhone 6, like me, I have an iPhone 6 Plus. When the iPhone 7 comes out, I'm still going to be able to run Windows 10 when it comes out. I can upgrade to Windows 10 on my phone. So I'll be still using the latest and greatest iOS update, even though my phone is 2 years old. Now, does that warrant that I won't get the iPhone 7? No, I probably will. But the point is, if some people feel like, well, if I can still update my phone and it can still run the same exact operating system as the new phone, I can just keep my phone, and won't have to upgrade. But most people that upgrade their phones are people that's on a 2-year contract, and their 2-year contract is up. From outside looking in, you're looking at it like people are literally upgrading their phones every year, but it's not the same group of people. Most people who have the previous iPhone now, that had the iPhone 6s Plus, they're not going to upgrade to the 7, because their 2-year contract is not up, they're still going to keep their current model and wait till the next iPhone drop. Now those who going to do the upgrade this year is the ones phones are 2 years old, and the 2-year contract is up about time the new iPhone comes out. Now with consoles, you can't take your console everywhere you go. You know, you can't text and call nobody. You can't Snapchat. You can't do none of that stuff with a console. So to a certain extent, people is going to gravitate more to a cell phone, upgrading that more often than they would a console. You know, I don't think consoles should be upgradable every 2 years. Every 2 years they come out with a new console, because that means if they come out with a new console every 2 years, that means more marketing. Is more advertisement. It's more money these companies gonna have to spend to convince the consumer to upgrade to a new console every 2 years. I don't think that's going to happen. You know, so it's like that's my opinion. You know, cell phones and consoles is not the same thing. And people say, well, if people upgrade their cell phones every year, they could do it for consoles. Again, if you're buying a console every 2 years, you're gonna have a whole bunch of consoles in your house. So which console you're gonna really be playing? That means the previous console you bought 2 years ago is gonna be outdated, and you're gonna shovel that to the side. You know, so I don't think consoles should do a 2-year upgrade just like the cell phone market, because cell phone is different. Cell phone, they're small, they fit in your pocket. You carry it. People pretty much carry their cell phones everywhere they go. So I don't think having cell phones to be, I don't think having consoles to upgrade every 2 years is a good idea, because I think the market would be oversaturated with consoles on the market, because each console have to have their own identity, you know, and their own way to be unique to get the consumer to buy that particular console. You don't have to do that with an iPhone or a Galaxy, because pretty much an iPhone and a Galaxy is pretty much the same phone. You know, every year it just upgrades. They upgrade the hardware and they might upgrade the physical appearance, but for the most part, it's still an iPhone. It's still a Galaxy. You know, it's not like the Xbox and PlayStation. They just upgrade their hardware every so many years. Every time a new console come out, it's a whole different beast. It's a whole different ball game, you know. But that's just my opinion. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me hear your thoughts and your opinions. I'll talk to you later. Peace.